a big part of my career was the strength training, right? As a pitcher, it helped me have endurance on the mound. I believe it helped me get as far as I did and play as long as I did, and additionally throw as hard as I was able to throw. You've worked with multiple athletes, elite level athletes in different sports. Why is strength training necessary for an athlete?
Strength training is a big part of bringing an athlete up because we need to know where they're lagging in their development. Is it explosiveness? Is it power, strength? Are they getting enough development for the rotation? Are they properly learning how to load their glutes and their hips versus being quad dominant? And if we don't have a proper strength training program, we aren't able to collect that data to look at, okay, they are improving in these areas or they're lagging here, and we can make the adjustments. As a coach, if we don't have that data, we're unable to look at what they need. And that's a big thing too about the strength program, is that we want it to be catered to them for their improvement, not just a cookie cutter program where everybody picks something up off the internet and wonder why they're not seeing improvement. This way we can look at what they need, add in or take out, and move forward in their training.
Why is the proper program safer for an athlete?
Well, I think of one athlete that I worked with, and when she came to me, she was actually overtraining. They were loading more and more onto her schedule where she wasn't able to actually perform at her highest level, or the biggest issue is recover so she can perform. They came to me for some strength training because she was getting slower and weaker. We looked at the scheduling, we looked at her training and her programming, and we had to readjust everything. We had to eliminate some of her performance stuff so we could focus on getting her weight up and her explosiveness and strength. And during that time, not only did she improve her strength and her ability to perform, but she became less sick. On a regular, she was always run down, tired, was fighting the cold. And when we shifted that scheduling and had proper nutrition and strength training and was able to look at the data of everything she was doing, not only did her performance improve, her strength, but also her overall wellness and health and ability to continue to be on the field or in the pool or whatever that sport may be.
So many pitchers are getting hurt, right? It's the wrong programs, it's the wrong development, it's the wrong training, the poor mechanics. Speaking of strength and conditioning, we've put together a pretty extensive strength program. In addition to just a strength program, what's going to help keep those athletes on the field?
Yeah, a big part of what we do is the arm care. Athletes are working hard, training hard, performing hard, and if they're dealing with injuries on a regular basis, then they're not on the field or they're not in the weight room. They're not able to develop their sport. So we like to emphasize on arm care. Are we developing the arm? Are we strengthening the joints and the ligaments? And if we are, then we're saving them for future injuries down the road, and which takes them off the field if they do get injured. So I love that we have the mobility, the strength portion, and the arm care, and also working with the amazing physiotherapist to able for these youth to check in and have questions, and if they're having issues with that arm, they can get answers right away.
How important is that mobility, flexibility, recovery, putting in that time after a hard workout, after a hard performance? What's that going to do for them?
Yeah, the mobility, the recovery, condition, that needs to be just as important as the strength training. If we don't have those components, then we're probably going to be lagging in our strength and training programming, but it's also going to carry it out onto the field. So if we're not getting the proper recovery and conditioning, we're going to see those results when they're performing on the field. And we want to make sure that we're tapping into all these components to make sure that they get the full package and not just a portion. We need all three to work together.
And as a pitcher, you say how that pours out onto the field. Well, a starting pitcher, if I have a 3-hour game and I got to throw 9 innings, I have to perform for 3 hours straight at my highest level. Or a relief pitcher that can throw in back-to-back days, or even 3 days in a row for that matter. Like, you got to be in peak physical condition to perform but also be able to recover and not get hurt in the process. And that's, I agree with you, it's absolutely important. And a huge reason why we've integrated this into our full program. We want to take care of every kid's needs.
Mm-hmm.